Hi everyone. Despite the fancy name, this is actually a very simple recipe, but it's going to make you look like a barbecue genius. By the ingredients you can see it's very simple. You need some fresh Atlantic salmon, about 2 or 2.5 pounds in fillet style, not the steaks. You need some spiced rum, brown sugar, and sea salt. The sugar and sea salt are going to be mixed to become a cure. And you need a couple of cups of apple wood chips. So we start by putting the salmon into a plastic bag and adding the rum, letting that soak for about an hour, hour and a half. While it's soaking, you mix up the cure, and it's 2 parts of brown sugar and 1 part of sea salt. In this picture you can see the apple wood chips. I've taken 2 cups of apple wood chips, just soaked them in water, and on the right you can see where they came from. You can just get them at Home Depot or at Canadian Tire. After about an hour and a half, you take the salmon out of the bag, you put it on paper towels, and you pat it dry completely. I then cut it into portion-sized pieces. In this case, I took that big chunk and I made it into 6 equal pieces. You put it into a dish and you cover it with the cure. That's the sugar and salt mixture. And then you cover that dish with cellophane and you put it into the fridge for 4 hours. When it comes out, it looks like this. The liquid at the bottom is actually excess water drawn out of the salmon by the salt. And that's what you want. And the texture of the salmon ends up being a little bit leathery on the outside. Then you take those pieces, run them under cold water, wash off all that excess sugar and salt, and then you arrange them onto a flat dish. In this case, I actually put them on a grate so that the smoke in the barbecue can get all around all sides. And next, let's take a look at what the barbecue preparation looks like. Okay, so it's about an hour before mealtime, and what we're going to do here is we're going to get our barbecue going. And remember that the fish is going to be sitting on a cold area, and we're going to have the outside burners going. So because it's indirect heat, we're going to be smoking the fish, not just cooking it. So I've got the outside burners going. This bag, the silver foil bag, is actually the wood chips. So in about 20 minutes, those are going to start smoking, and we're going to be ready to bring the fish out at that time. Okay, so I've put the salmon on, and it says to get the temperature up to 225. The problem is, if the thermostat says 225, the salmon is sitting off the heat at a lower spot here. It won't be 225 there. So the thermostat actually shows 400. Although when you look at the salmon, it's sitting off heat. It'll be down here. It'll take about 35 or so minutes, and that should do it. So after about 35 minutes, this is what it looks like. And the most delicious part of this is those little brown edges on each piece. They're really sweet and very, very tasty. And serve it up with some rice, a little bit of broccoli, and it's a delicious meal. In this case, I've made 6 pieces. It's good for a couple of nights. It'll store very well in the fridge. Now I gotta tell you, cooking is a hobby and I like it, but real estate is a passion and I love doing that. So if you're looking to buy or sell a house in or around Winnipeg, give me a call anytime. Here's my contact information. I do hope to hear from you. I'll be making more of these recipes, and you can find them on my website too at winnipeghomefinder.com. Until then, bye-bye.